This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica, transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne, serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas, and 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcast on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live and on Flow at Channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning. A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, August 19, 2026. JTA rejects the government's latest wage offer. CXC reports a jump in exam irregularities, including use of unauthorized devices and misuse of artificial intelligence. Water Minister says restrictions would have hit sooner were it not for recent investments in upgrading the supply network. In regional news, Guyana on track to surpass 1 million barrels of oil production per day. In international news, sacked Ukrainian defense minister calls for presidential election. In sports, Mount Pleasant loses to Cibao in CONCACAF Caribbean Cup opener. And in business, UAE imposes indefinite trade embargo on Iran over alleged missile attacks. The details after the break.
Getting ready for back to school is as easy as KB. Shop at Kingston Bookshop from July 13, 2026 to September 5, 2026 for your chance to win big in our back to school promotion. Spend just $5,000 before GCT, shop online or in store, and you could win $200,000 cash, an HP laptop, or a Samsung Galaxy Tab S10. Pick up in store or shop online today. It's back to school the easy way, only at KB.
Discover something new. Discover the KB difference.
Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has rejected the government's latest wage offer. Newly installed President LaSonia Harrison made the disclosure while speaking to the media at the JTA's 62nd annual conference at Ocean Coral Spring Hotel in Trelawney on Monday.
The decision of the teachers of the nation, of the 213 members present in the room, 155 of those members present rejected what the government currently have on offer to the teachers of this nation. 54 of them said yes, and we had a spoiled ballot and 3 rejected. So the teachers have spoken.
Under the government's proposed wage package, all public sector workers have been offered a one-time payment of $80,000 for the period April 2025 to March 2026. This is to be followed by a 5% salary increase for the 2026 to 2027 financial year and another 5% bump for the final year of the contract, April 2027 to March 2028. The JTA went to the negotiating table with a list containing 28 items for discussion. Former president of the association, Mark Malava, previously told our news team the majority of those claims were not salary-related. Harrison says the leadership of the JTA will now formally notify the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service of the position of its members.
Nothing for the teachers of this nation has ever come easy. Nothing. We've always had to struggle. And so the struggle continues. The conversation continues. We've been at the bargaining table for a while, and we will continue to have those conversations with the Ministry of Finance for them to come to an understanding that there are some matters that are quite important to the teachers that they need to reflect on and certainly move in another direction.
LaSonia Harrison, president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Meanwhile, the JTA president says the teachers are unhappy with the government's proposal concerning the uniform policy and graduate allowance.
The government having some 3 or 4 levels in the uniform policy, and the smallest remuneration package is $135,000. And the government of Jamaica has offered the teachers not one of the 4 categories, but $38,500. Why the treatment of the teachers in this way? We continue to question. In the restructuring exercise in 2022, we fought tooth and nails for the graduate allowance to be returned as a line item on the teacher's salary as at April 1st, 2024. That was honored. However, it is a mere 1 increment.
That's Sonia Harrison, president of the JTA. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, is reporting a sharp increase in examination irregularities this year, with cases rising by more than 50% when compared to 2025. CXC recorded 128 instances of irregularities across the Caribbean this year, up from 80 last year. Director of Operations at CXC, Dr. Nicole Manning, says the main violations include the use of unauthorized devices and materials, collusion, and the misuse of artificial intelligence.
Irregularities mean that a candidate, for whatever reason, may have entered an exam and conducted themselves in an inappropriate manner. And so this year we saw a whopping 128, moving from 80. And this is not something the Caribbean examinations like to see. The top 3 issues we had this year: use of unauthorized devices. This represented the largest instance reported. 2, collusion, where candidates are trying to work with each other in an exam to complete the exam. Thirdly, use of unauthorized material. And the new one on the block, AI misuse. We have never had this before. This is new. We saw quite a bit of this year, not only from an individual candidate, but candidates doing the same thing over and over.
Dr. Nicole Manning, Director of Operations at CXC. Dr. Manning was speaking Tuesday at the official launch of the 2026 CXC examination results in Anguilla. She says students found guilty of examination misconduct could have their grades cancelled or be disqualified from the examinations. At the CSEC level, there were 106 cases of irregularity among candidates this year, compared with 57 in 2025. At CAPE, 22 cases were recorded, compared with 23 last year. Now, Water Minister Matthew Samuda says work continues on the nearly $200 million pipeline program that serves as the first phase of the Western Water Resilience Project. Minister Samuda provided updates on the progress of the project while speaking on the OPM On Air segment on CliffViews Online on Tuesday. Mahira Stewart has that story.
Launched last July, the Western Water Resilience Project is a $425 million multi-phased improvement initiative aimed at increasing the amount of water supply to Western parishes. Phase 1 of the project, laying pipes across key corridors in Western Jamaica, is already underway. Minister Matthew Samuda says Phase 2 will see upgrades to existing treatment plants that will provide millions of gallons to customers.
The phase that we're in now is 170 million US dollars of pipe work. The second phase of that we expect to start and run in parallel with the work that we're doing now very early next year, which is the upgrade of the water treatment plants both at Martha Brae and at Great River. This will see an additional 10 million gallons cumulatively being put into the network to service that corridor with a far more reliable distribution lane at the same time. So that will literally supply everyone that lives within 5 kilometers of the coast from Negril all the way through to the easternmost part of northern Trelawney.
He says the third phase will see new water treatment plants being built to accommodate developments expected to come to the west.
Because we are very clear seeing the housing applications, the applications for more hotels, the applications for industrial projects, we will also, as phase 3, be building water treatment plants at the Rio Bueno River and the Roaring River in Savlamar. These two new treatment plants will add close to 40 million gallons of water along that corridor. That is where Dr. Chang's original idea comes into play, because now you have the processing capacity and there is the opportunity to go over the hill, so to speak, and supply areas of Clarendon and Pump East in a way that would give support to St. Catherine Clarendon from that system, while also supplementing needs for the growth that is expected with things like Harmony Cove and the significant housing developments that are projected in the western half of St. Ann going all the way west.
Minister Samuda adds that work is being done to interconnect the water systems in the west in order for certain plants to alleviate areas in the event that their main plant cannot.
We're also doing some serious work over the next 3 months on the Logwood system that will see, because of seismic impacts, that some of the water sources actually shifted a few hundred meters from our initial extraction point that would have been put in 30 years ago. Now that will allow Logwood, in times of plenty, to be able to pump going east as well. So we are interconnecting our systems certainly in the west, and that is the beginning of the process, because Martha Brae now will be able to supply sections of St. Ann. When St. Ann is getting rain, the Bogue system, which is the primary system that serves most of Ocho Rios, will be able to pump much further west as well, because we're designing the pipes in such a way where you're able to switch the flow based on the hydraulics in that space. So that project is a credible one, but an incredibly expensive one, and it will take years to get to that point. But I am happy that we have started in sections.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, the minister says the prohibition notices currently in force would have been issued sooner had it not been for recent investments in the 80-year-old water distribution network. Samida says in addition to infrastructure works, a reduction in the amount of water lost to leaks and illegal connections have been critical.
We've also done a lot of work with NRW reduction, non-revenue water leak reduction. So we were at 71% in 2016, in February 2016. We're at 38% now in the corporate area. So what that means is that in February 2016, when we formed government, you needed 60 million gallons a day for Kingston and St. Andrew to supply demand. With all of the development, all of the expansion of complexes and multi-family dwellings and new commercial enterprises, today we need 50. So imagine if we hadn't done that leak reduction work, you'd be short 22 million gallons and not 10. So your reduction, your prohibition notices would have come in weeks earlier because of the rate of depletion and the total demand that you'd have had. So there's been significant work. We just have a long way still to go.
And on the subject of improved capacity, Minister Samida says much work has been done across Kingston and the southern sections of St. Andrew.
You've significantly changed the infrastructure capacity to bring that water. You used to have very old transmission mains. So anybody who's passing 6 Mile would see that massive blue pipe that is coming in. I mean, that was, I think, $3 billion of pipe work that was done just to move the water from Tullow Springs without losing 70% of it. So massive work has been done in Kingston and St. Andrew.
Matthew Samida, Water Minister. Tullow Springs, located in St. Catherine, is a major source of water for the corporate area. The public is being urged to avoid lighting open fires in light of the dry conditions caused by the ongoing drought. The call is coming from the Agriculture Ministry. It follows a major fire in Peter Plain, St. Elizabeth on Sunday that damaged 12 acres of farmland, including 7 acres of recently planted watermelon. According to the ministry, it's the second major fire reported in Peter Plains and the third in St. Elizabeth in the past 2 weeks. The blaze also damaged irrigation infrastructure, including main lines and drip lines, as well as fencing. Grass mulch used to retain soil moisture was also destroyed. The ministry is raising concern about the growing impact of fires on farmers, agricultural infrastructure, and food production. It's appealing to the public to refrain from lighting fires for land clearing, garbage disposal, or any other purpose during the prevailing dry conditions. It says such fires can spread quickly, placing nearby farms, communities, and agricultural infrastructure at risk. The ministry noted that the effect of these fires extends beyond the acreage directly burnt. Damage to crops, irrigation systems, fencing, and other farm infrastructure can interrupt production and impose significant additional costs on affected farmers. Now, the public is being urged to desist from circulating a viral video depicting child pornography. Senior communications strategist at the Jamaica Constabulary Force, SSB Dennis Brooks, says knowingly accessing, sharing, or keeping such videos is illegal.
At the Jamaica Constabulary Force, especially at the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, SOCA, what we like to communicate is that the Jamaican law doesn't just criminalize the production of child pornography. It criminalizes the distribution, the importing, the exporting, the possession, knowingly accessing. So a person doesn't escape liability just because he or she didn't create the materials. Receiving it, knowingly retaining it, deliberately accessing it, or forwarding it can raise separate legal issues. And you have offenses that range from 8 years, 15 years, 20 years.
The video has attracted disturbing comments from social media users critiquing the child's anatomy and giving graphic descriptions of the footage. Other users have also been asking for the footage to be shared with them. Meanwhile, SSB Brooks says such videos are still considered child pornography despite the age of consent being 16.
A common misconception that people sometimes have when they're communicating with us at CCN, for instance, is that Jamaica's age of consent is 16, so sometimes people assume that explicit material of a 16 or a 17-year-old cannot be considered child pornography. That's not correct because the legislation, the relevant threshold is 18 and under. The relevant authorities know, stop sharing it.
SSB Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist at the JCF, speaking on Mrs. Kitty Live on Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday. And SSB Brooks says the long summer break is an opportunity for students to become engaged in potentially damaging activities.
We are particularly vigilant around the summer holidays when the supervision may be less, and these are realities that we have to consider. That, when kids are not at school under proper supervision, and some parents, because of the realities of their economic or social situation, they're not able to provide the level of supervision the child needs, that these things often happen during the summer holidays.
SSB Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
Hey, turn up to 25. Turn up to 25. Could I drive out fresh in a MG ride with a staycation all inclusive flex? Yeah. I touch a million cash. Yes. Smart TV, PS5, and home upgrade.
Turn up your winnings this summer with Digicel. Sign up or switch to postpaid or Digicel Plus. Buy a SIM. Top up with 5 bills or more. Buy a 7-day plan or higher. A smartphone deal or just pay your bill. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period June 24 to September 5, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for terms and conditions.
In regional and international news this morning, regional Guyana is set to surpass 1 million barrels of oil per day with the arrival later this week of its 5th floating production storage and offloading FPSO vessel. It's designed to add roughly 250,000 barrels per day to the country's production capacity. President Mohammed Irfan Ali made the announcement at a press conference on Tuesday. The new vessel, which set sail from Singapore in early August, will join the 4 FPSOs currently operating in the Starbrook block. Currently, the 4 are producing some 900,000 barrels of oil per day. Dr. Ali says the new vessel is set to do its first production in the fourth quarter of 2026. In international, Ukraine's ex-defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov is calling for wartime elections. Fedorov, who was unexpectedly fired from the role last month, made the call in a video posted to YouTube on Tuesday. The move is regarded as the biggest challenge to Volodymyr Zelensky's presidency since Russia's full-scale invasion 4.5 years ago. Elections have been suspended in Ukraine since the outbreak of the war in 2022, as martial law has been activated. Zelensky is yet to respond to the video from Fedorov, whose dismissal sparked protests across the country. About 100 protesters gathered outside the Ukrainian parliament on Wednesday morning, chanting, "Bring back Fedorov." And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Back to school season has a way of sneaking up on you. First, it's books, then uniforms, school shoes, a laptop, lunch money, tuition, and somehow the list just keeps getting longer. But here's the good news. Preparing your child for the new school year doesn't have to put your financial goals on hold. With a Barita Merchant Bank back-to-school loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above to finance tuition, books, uniforms, laptops, and other school essentials. You'll also enjoy low rates, reduced fees, and up to 5 years to repay, giving you the flexibility to prepare with confidence. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans.
From the biggest tracks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World boss, leave a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice. God, me say you watch you over me practice.
Timing, strategy, precision. For over a decade, Sagicor Investments has set the standard for performance. We deliver results that speak for themselves. Number one, in value traded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager with diversified investments and unmatched capital markets expertise. Take the first step towards a portfolio built on consistent performance. Call 888 Sagicor to speak with a wealth advisor.
Time now for your morning sports. Mount Pleasant Academy made a losing start to the defense of their CONCACAF Caribbean Cup title at the National Stadium on Tuesday night. The St. Anne-based unit went down 2-1 to Cibao of the Dominican Republic. Diego Ledesman gave Cibao the lead on 43 minutes. Mount Pleasant drew level 26 minutes later through new signing Nikolai Fuller. However, Cibao was struck back in the 80th minute thanks to Mariano Nichel. Now, former FIFA Vice President Austin Jack Warner says the football leaders in Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago should find a candidate to wrest the leadership of the Caribbean Football Union from St. Lucia's Lyndon Cooper, or else the region's football will perish. Warner, who served many years as head of CONCACAF, says Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago are the two biggest players in the region and should take leadership of Caribbean football. However, when asked who in Jamaica he thinks has the ability to lead, this was his response.
I have seen nobody in Jamaica either. The person, guys and son, to me, they of course don't know where to turn, where to go. They lack vision, They lack management skills. They don't understand that the power they have and how it can be used, and therefore they are paying a price. There's no Captain Burrell in Jamaica anymore. There's no Captain Burrell. There's no Anthony James. Right? These guys, of course, who were there and who colored the FIFA and who colored Mexico and the USA, they are gone. And there is nobody today who wants to take the bull by the horns.
Warner says it doesn't matter which of the big two provides the leadership, a challenger must step forward.
I'm a praying man, and who knows, someday my prayer might be answered, but I'm not seeing anything as yet. But I want to repeat, somebody in Trinidad and Tobago has to rise up. Or if you want to go as far as Jamaica, has to rise up and take the bull by the horns. Other than that, football here in the region shall not rise, shall not prosper, shall not succeed.
Cooper succeeded Randy Harris of Barbados as CFU president last March at the 48th Ordinary Congress. Jamaica Football Federation President Mike Ricketts is one of Cooper's 4 VPs. Warner says with CFU having 31 votes, a strong CFU leader could inspire a challenge for a Caribbean administrator to be CONCACAF president. The Jamaica Kingsmen ticked off their second straight victory in the Caribbean Premier League, beating St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots by 51 runs at Sabina Park on Tuesday. Kemo Paul, 65, and Captain Rovman Powell, 49, put on 99 runs for the 5th wicket as the Kingsmen recovered from 54 for 4 to post 181 for 6. The Patriots were then dismissed for 130 in 18 overs. Kevin Wickham led the batting with 37, as Paul completed a fine all-round performance with 3 for 30, while Andre Russell picked up 2 for 18. The victory came on the back of Saturday's maiden triumph over defending champions, the Trinbago Knight Riders. It was also the last home game of the season for the Kingsmen. Finally, in your morning sports, veteran netball coach Winston Nevers believes Jamaica international Roxana McLean will set the Netball Super League in England alight when she suits up for the Birmingham Panthers, who are gearing up for their second season in the league.
She's a very good player. And when you talk about discipline, she's one of the most disciplined person I ever coached. Yes, she really coachable. And so you could know from a long time that Roxanne was going to make it because she always put out the effort big time. Every single time that she go on the netball court, she put out the effort. So you as a coach, you're encouraged to continue to coach her.
According to Nevers, McLean's recent stint in the Malaysian League playing for the Malacca Mystics boosted her stock and showed she is one of the top defenders on the circuit at the moment.
And she did well there, only thing that she get an injury. Right now the injury is coming on because the plaster come off her hand did break. And they come off now. Vernon Panther, they know her and they saw her play all the while in Australia, all about over the world. You understand? So they just select a top class player because she is one of the best defender.
Winston Nevers wrapping up your morning sports.
Business This Morning is brought to you by Stewart's Auto Sales. Rev up the summer with GWM Jamaica.
In business this morning, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, has imposed an indefinite trade embargo on Iran. In a statement early on Wednesday, the UAE's Minister of Foreign Affairs said all trade, commercial exchanges, and financial transactions with Iran have been halted until further notice. The statement came after the UAE's Ministry of Defense said its air defenses detected 2 ballistic missiles launched from Iran. In a follow-up statement, the ministry said the missiles had been targeting maritime traffic and promised to resolutely confront any attempt to undermine the security of the nation or maritime navigation in the region. Meanwhile, Iran's Ministry of Foreign Affairs rejected the accusation, with its spokesman suggesting it was a false flag operation amid the war launched by the United States and Israel against his country. Locally, Pan Jamaica Group Limited, PJG, recorded continued revenue growth for the first half of 2026, with revenues increasing 6% to almost $23 billion. Earnings before interest and taxes were $3.4 billion, and the consolidated net profit for the first half was $2.2 billion, lower when compared with the same period in 2025. Net profit attributable to shareholders was $1.5 billion. In the meantime, while the group's JP Farms operation was significantly impacted by Hurricane Melissa, rehabilitation of the banana farm has been completed ahead of schedule and is on track to return to full production in Q3 of 2026. PJG says its European juice operation also continues to deliver strong results, while the markets it serves are supported by robust growth. Looking ahead, PJG says it will place increased emphasis on businesses that operate at scale or have the potential to scale, while maintaining a disciplined approach to capital allocation and pursuing strategic growth opportunities. In foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has lost 64 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $159.40. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has gained $2.72 and will open selling for an average $113.19. And finally, the Jamaican has lost 95 cents and will begin trading for an average $214.46 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Business This Morning was brought to you by Stewart's Auto Sales. Rev up the summer with GWM Jamaica.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:30.
Looking for a gym that's got it all? Welcome to Express Fitness, where fitness meets convenience. With 24/7 access, you can work out whenever it suits you. And with island-wide locations, we're always close by anywhere and anytime. Love classes? We've got them. From aerobics to dance to spin, you name it, we've got it. Our certified trainers are here to take you on a journey. Call us at 888-FITNESS or visit our website at expressfitnessja.com. Express Fitness, your goal or mission.
Heading back to university this summer? You're probably thinking about tuition, books, and maybe even replacing that laptop that's been hanging on by a thread. We've all been there. The good news? Paying for your education doesn't have to happen all at once. With a Barita Merchant Bank Tertiary Loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above, repay over up to 5 years, and even begin repaying while you study. So you can spend less time worrying about how to pay for school and more time focusing on what really matters: graduating. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans. Barita Merchant Bank, let's get you there.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. My sweet Lord. I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. My sweet Lord. I really wanna see you. 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 And it takes so long, my Lord. My sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. My sweet Lord. I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord.
Oh, I lift up my hands to the Father, I lift up, 'cause He made me strong. He put the food on my table, yes, and in my heart His song. Oh, Jah, I love you so. Mighty Jah, I need you so. Sing along, hallelujah, praise His name, hallelujah, highest praise, hallelujah, every night and day, hallelujah. Oh, when I am down and low, and the heathen in my show them blow, only Jah, Jah name I know. Hallelujah, praise His name, hallelujah, the highest praise, hallelujah, every night and day, hallelujah. Praises for Jah, both young and old. It's better than silver and gold. Silver and gold will vanish away, but the love of my Father is here to stay. Woe be unto the shepherds that lead my
Good morning,
sheep
good morning,
astray.
good morning to you. Welcome to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us. All the YouTubers in the chat, good morning to you. And good morning to our friends out there in Radioland. Is Nats in the chat this morning? I did see Nats Hutchinson, a parent of a senior student who did CSEC. And I don't remember what the grades were, Nats, but you did post. You were in a celebratory mood on Facebook yesterday. So if you can jump back in the chat this morning and let us know how your child did. But congratulations to you, Nats Hutchinson, and to all the parents out there and the guardians who received CSEC results yesterday for your fifth formers, and as well fourth formers, third formers, second formers, and first formers, because there are those who are doing CSEC exams, trying out CSEC subjects from those grades as well. Congratulations to George as well. I don't know if you heard it yesterday, Saeed. George indicating that his daughter did math at the fourth form level, fourth form, and got a grade 1. Got a grade 1, and she's a part of the 5% across the Caribbean who secured a grade 1 in CSEC math. So congratulations to you, Georgie, and to all the other parents out there. And Rambling Rose, good morning to you. See her here saying that her daughter got 6 distinctions and 2 twos. So did 8 subjects, 6 ones, and 2 twos. So congratulations to her. Well done, well done, well done. And congratulations to all the other Jamaican students who did well at CSEC and CAPE. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. You know, Mr. King is trying to kill the energy, so I can't. You know, I don't understand what's happening either. But good morning to everybody that's out there. You know, it's an exciting morning to be alive. It's Wednesday morning. It is my favorite midweek day of the week. And it's the only midweek day of the week, you know. But it's my favorite midweek day of the week. I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm overjoyed. But I want to quickly get to this, Tana.
Yes.
Yes. But what's on my mind this morning, Mr. King? $199 billion later, why aren't our children learning? On the day after results have been released, a number of our kids did well, but we seem to still have a problem. We can't move the needle significantly. And we've been hearing about investments in education for so long. The new president of the JTA, Lasagna Harrison, or should I say, old president turned new president again, is calling for greater investment in education. She's right. Schools need repairs, teachers need proper resources, and students deserve better learning conditions. But before Jamaica puts more money in the education system, we need to answer a very uncomfortable question. What exactly are we getting from the money already being spent? Because based on the budgeted figures, right, for 26-27 financial year, the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information was allocated approximately about 199 billion Jamaican dollars in recurrent expenditure. Yet, the World Bank estimates that although the average Jamaican child completes 11.4 years of school, education is equivalent to only 7.1 years of effective learning. Think about that. Say that again. 11.4 years of school, but that education is equivalent to 7.1 years of effective learning. Our children are losing the equivalent of more than 4 years of education while they're sitting inside the education system. The examination results tell the same story. In 2025, I go back to 2025, 85% of Jamaican candidates passed CSEC English A, but only 44% pass mathematics. And of course, you heard that conversation with Tana and myself yesterday. That means that more than half of the candidates sitting mathematics failed to receive a passing grade. At the primary level, the ministry reported that 79% of the 2026 PEP cohort mastered literacy and 75% mastered numeracy. We can celebrate the improvement, but we must also confront what those numbers mean. Those numbers mean that approximately 1 in every 5 children completed primary school without mastering literacy, while 1 in every 4 did not master numeracy. And I find that concerning. We then send those children to high school, introduce algebra, chemistry, essay writing, information technology, and behave as though their foundational weaknesses will somehow disappear. They do not disappear. They become more expensive and more difficult to correct. Attendance is another crisis. The education minister reported an island-wide absenteeism rate of 15% in 2025. And of course, I know that the education minister says they have plans afoot to fix that and have been working on that. But in Region 6, which covers St. Catherine, consistent attendance was reported only 65% at that time. That means that in one of Jamaica's largest education regions, more than 1/3 of students were not attending school consistently. No teacher can teach an empty chair, no tablet can educate an absent child, no new curriculum can solve a problem if students are not present to receive it. So Jamaica's education crisis is not simply a funding problem. And yes, I'm aware of the Patterson report. Yes, I'm aware of the recommendations, but I want to say it's a delivery problem, an accountability problem, and quite simply a bureaucracy problem. The ministry presides over regional offices, agencies, commissions, boards, administrative departments, and countless programs. Yet the public is rarely told How much of the education budget directly improves teaching and learning, and how much is consumed by administration? How many positions duplicate work being done elsewhere? How many officers are assigned to schools that continue underperforming for years? How many pilot programs are launched, photographed, and publicized without ever being independently evaluated? Which means some programs can be announced, they can be implemented, they can be funded, but they are never, ever properly done. But who evaluates them? We measure meetings, workshops, policies, tablets, and money spent, but we don't measure success aggressively enough. We don't. The real measurements are simple. Can the child read? Can the child calculate? Is the child attending school? Is the school improving? If the answer is no, then someone must be held responsible. Here's what should happen. First, freeze the creation of new non-classroom administrative positions until an independent staffing and expenditure audit is completed. Within 6 months, that audit should identify duplicated functions, unnecessary layers of approval, and the percentage of the $199 billion of recurrent budget that directly supports classrooms. Secondly, publish a national school performance dashboard every year. Every school should report its literacy, numeracy, attendance, CSEC performance, dropout figures. Parents and taxpayers should not have to guess which schools are not doing too well. We want to know, and we want to know what the plans for improvement are. Thirdly, 2 consecutive years of serious underperformance must automatically trigger intervention. That should include an evaluation of the principal, the school board, and responsible regional officers. A failing school cannot be allowed to continue indefinitely under the same leadership with no consequences. Fourthly, every child who fails to master literacy or numeracy must receive a written intervention plan. Remedial classes should have no more than 20 students, with at least 1 uninterrupted hour each day dedicated to reading or mathematics until the child reaches the required standard. Fifth, any school with attendance below 80% should be placed on an attendance recovery program. Schools must identify absent students quickly, contact their families, involve social workers and child protection agencies where necessary, because we cannot wait until children disappear from the system permanently. Sixth, and very important, tie additional funding to measurable improvement. Schools with greater needs should receive more support. Schools with greater needs should receive more support. But every additional dollar must have a target, a deadline, and a publicly reported result. Finally, put the resources where the learning happens. If a position, program, or agency cannot demonstrate how it improves student outcomes, it should be restructured, merged, or removed. I'm going to repeat that for you. If a position, program, or agency cannot demonstrate how it improves student outcomes, it should be restructured, merged, or removed. Yes, Jamaica may need to spend more on education, but we cannot continue feeding a system simply because it is hungry for money. Jamaican $199 billion is not a small investment. And of course, it's good that the government is putting so much money in education. But 1 in 4 children leaving primary school without mastering numeracy is not a small failure. A 44% mathematics pass rate is not an acceptable return. And if Jamaica were a business and these were our numbers, we would be bankrupt. So the education system does not need another blank check. It needs a deadline, measurable targets, and consequences for failure. So think on these things, because that's what's on my mind.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness works to ensure the provision of quality health services and promotes healthy lifestyles and environmental practices for all Jamaicans. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is...
It's 6:48.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 28 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Looking for your dream home, investment property, or that perfect piece of land? At Real Estate by Noel Jamaica Limited, there's something for everyone, from luxury villas and modern apartments to family homes and residential lots. So, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, trust the professionals. Trust Real Estate by Noel. Contact us today at 876-672-2102 or visit our website at realestatebynoel.com or email us at office@rebnoel.com. Real Estate by Noel, your window to Jamaica's finest real estate.
Path beneficiary parents and guardians, if your child has started a new primary or secondary school, Path needs to know. Visit the Ministry of Labour and Social Security office in your parish and submit the new school information by September 11. Keeping your child's records up to date helps us ensure your Path benefits continue without interruption. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, providing opportunities, stability, and social protection.
Live summer brighter. No need to delay. Sagicor Bank's unsecured loan gives you up to 5 years to repay. New furniture's calling. Go solar at home. Get renovating. Or get a back-to-school loan. Competitive rates. Fast approval. Zero hassle. No sweat. Get it all for the summer. Borrow up to 5 mil. No collateral needed to get whatever you will. Live summer brighter with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan. Call 888-SAGICOR to learn more. Conditions apply.
When you hear those horns, you know what time it is. It's time for Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Good morning, Sanjay. Good morning, Tona.
Hey to you, Ludlow.
Challenges. Wow. The stats there is very interesting and intriguing. Anyway, it's bright and sunny. It's a bright and sunny Wednesday morning, and I can tell you it's free flowing in some areas depending on where you are. If you're in Portmore exiting via the Mandela Highway, Municipal Boulevard, that is onto the Mandela, it's going to be good. Going west towards Spanish Town from the Municipal Boulevard onto Mandela Highway onto the Spanish Town is good, no problems at all. And then there's a steady stream of traffic coming from the heading eastbound, some of it making its way up the PJ Patterson Highway onto the Mandela, and also the Edward Silva Highway onto the Mandela. It's steady, no problems there as you make your way towards 6 miles. Now there's a split there, 6 miles going to Spanish Town Road, steady again. No delays right now, all the way to 3 miles, and on the Washington Boulevard, steady flow also, a stream of traffic heading in that particular direction. Then a slight bit up at the intersection of Boulevard and Malines. Then some vehicles are making it onto Malines Road, all the way past Seawood Drive, the intersection of Casher Park Road and the Walton Park Road, and then they're going straight all the way down past Tarrant Drive onto Eastwood Park Road. It's steady all the way towards South Odeon Avenue. And I can say on the Constant Spring Road end, coming from as far as the Shortwood and Constant Spring Road intersection, going down past the other intersection of Dunrobin and Constant Spring Road, this is also steady, a steady stream heading into Half a Cheese Square. No delays at this particular point in time. I'm turning over now. It's back to you in the studios.
Thank you, Ludlow. Thank you for that update. That was Street Smart.
The word of the day is brought to you by Marshall's Pharmacy.
Hey to the folks over there at Marshall's Pharmacy, and the word of the day is spelled S-O-U-G-H. S-O-U-G-H.
Sow or Suff. Sow or Suff. Sow or Suff.
Sow or sough is your word of the day, and it means a soft moaning or rustling sound made by the wind or the sea. Sow or sough means a soft moaning or rustling sound made by the wind or the sea. As a noun, using it as a noun, we sat on the porch and listened to the gentle sough of the wind through the tall pine trees. As a verb, the autumn breeze began to sough through the dry leaves on the ground. As a sea sound, they fell asleep to the steady, distant sough of the ocean waves against the shore. Sough or sough is your word of the day, a soft moaning or rustling sound made by the wind or the sea. S-O-U-G-H. Up next are features at the top of the hour at the news.
The word of the day was brought to you by Marshall's Pharmacy.
Last week, we looked at how you could contract hookworm disease from your dogs. Today in Pets World, we'll be looking at salmonellosis, an infection that you can contract from your reptilian pets. If you are a lover of lizards, snakes, turtles, and iguanas and happen to keep any as pets, you run the risk of contracting an infection known as salmonellosis from them. These reptiles often carry the salmonella bacteria. However, while it does not cause symptoms in your pet, it can make you very sick. This infection can affect your intestines and on some occasions your bloodstream. It is one of the more common diarrheal illnesses. Once infected, you may experience mild or severe diarrhea, fever and cramps that can last up to a week. Young children, elderly persons, and those with a weakened immune system are more likely to develop severe and sometimes fatal illness from the infection. Therefore, families with children 5 years old or younger should avoid keeping reptiles as pets. The salmonella bacteria can spread by either direct or indirect contact with reptiles or their droppings. The germs can get on their cages, aquariums, terrariums, the water they live in or swim in, and other containers that house them. Anything that reptiles touch should be considered to be possibly contaminated with salmonella. If after touching or handling a reptile and you fail to wash your mouth or hands, you can infect yourself with salmonellosis. Here are some tips on how you can reduce your risk of becoming infected. Wash your hands thoroughly with soap and warm water immediately after touching a reptile or anything in the area where they live. Adults should always supervise hand washing for young children. Keep reptiles out of homes with children younger than 5 years old or people with weakened immune systems. Do not touch your mouth after handling reptiles or amphibians, and do not eat or drink around these animals. Do not let reptiles roam freely throughout the house or in areas where food or drink is prepared, served, or stored. Habitats and their contents should be carefully cleaned outside of the home. Use disposable gloves when cleaning and do not dispose of water in sinks used for food preparation or for getting drinking water. Be sure to clean any surfaces that have been in contact with reptiles. If desired, for added protection, these surfaces can then also be sanitized. Do not place reptiles in the bathtub or kiddie pool used by children. And wash any clothing a reptile might have touched. That's all for Pets World today. Stay safe until next time.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
If you are dining with an escort or partner, your order is always given to your escort or partner. It is never given directly to the waiter or waitress. This is Lifestyle Pages on ordering food. After deciding what you want, tell your companion and let them relay both orders to the waiter or waitress. When dining with a man, You do not engage the waiter or waitress in conversation other than to answer courteously if spoken to by the waiter or waitress. If you take several friends to a luncheon or dinner party in a restaurant, the meal should be ordered in advance. When a menu is headed table d'hôte, which in French means table of the host, the entire meal is included in the given price. On the other hand, a la carte means according to the card or menu, and this means that there is a separate price for each item of food ordered. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Distracted driving costs lives. Keep your eyes on the road and arrive alive. The time brought to you by the Jamaica Information Service is
News time, 7 o'clock.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Wednesday, August 19, 2026. JTA rejects the government's latest wage offer. CXC reports a jump in exam irregularities, including use of unauthorized devices and misuse of AI. Water Minister says restrictions would have hit sooner were it not for recent investments in upgrading the supply network. And in international news, dozens protest outside Ukraine Parliament amid call for wartime election. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has rejected the government's latest wage offer. Newly installed President LaSonia Harrison made the disclosure while speaking to the media at the JTA's 62nd annual conference at Ocean Coral Spring Hotel in Trelawney on Monday.
The decision of the teachers of the nation, of the 213 members present in the room, 155 of those members present rejected what the government currently have on offer to the teachers of this nation. 54 of them said yes, and we had a split ballot and 3 rejected. So the teachers have spoken.
Under the government's proposed wage package, all public sector workers have been offered a one-time payment of $80,000 for the period April 2025 to March 2026. This is to be followed by a 5% salary increase for the 2026 to 2027 financial year and another 5% bump for the final year of the contract, April 2027 to March 2028. The JTA went to the negotiating table with a list containing 28 items for discussion. Former president of the association, Mark Malava, previously told our news team the majority of those claims are not salary related. Harrison says the leadership of the JTA will now formally notify the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service of the position of its members.
nothing for the teachers of this nation has ever come easy. Nothing. We've always had to struggle. And so the struggle continues. The conversation continues. We've been at the bargaining table for a while, and we will continue to have those conversations with the Ministry of Finance for them to come to an understanding that there are some matters that are quite important to the teachers that they need to reflect on and certainly move in another direction.
LaSonia Harrison, president of the JTA. Meanwhile, the JTA president says that the teachers are unhappy with the government's proposal concerning the uniform policy and graduate allowance.
The government having some 3 or 4 levels in the uniform policy, and the smallest remuneration package is $135,000. And the government of Jamaica has offered the teachers not one of the 4 categories, but $38,500. Why the treatment of the teachers in this way? We continue to question. In the restructuring exercise in 2022, we fought tooth and nails for the graduate allowance to be returned as a line item on the teacher's salary as at April 1st, 2024. That was honored. However, it is a mere 1 increment.
LaSonia Harrison, president of the JTA. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, is reporting a sharp increase in examination irregularities this year, with cases rising by more than 50% when compared to 2025. CXC recorded 128 instances of irregularities across the Caribbean this year, up from 80 last year. Director of Operations at CXC, Dr. Nicole Manning, says the main violations include the use of unauthorized devices and materials, collusion, and the misuse of artificial intelligence.
Irregularities mean that a candidate, for whatever reason, may have entered an exam and conducted themselves in an inappropriate manner. And so this year we saw a whopping 128, moving from 80. And this is not something the Caribbean Examinations like to see. The top 3 issues we had this year: use of unauthorized devices. This represented the largest instance reported. 2, collusion, where candidates are trying to work with each other in an exam to complete the exam. Thirdly, use of unauthorized material, and the new one on the block, AI misuse. We have never had this before. This is new. We saw quite a bit of this year, not only from an individual candidate, but candidates doing the same thing over and over.
Dr. Nicole Manning, Director of Operations at CXC. Dr. Manning was speaking Tuesday at the official launch of the 2026 CXC examination results in Anguilla. She says students found guilty of examination misconduct could have their grades cancelled or be disqualified from the examinations. At the CSEC level, there were 106 cases of irregularity among candidates this year, compared with 57 in 2025. At Cape, 22 cases were recorded, compared with 23 last year. Water Minister Matthew Samuda says work continues on the nearly $200 million pipeline program that serves as the first phase of the Western Water Resilience Project. Minister Samuda provided updates on the progress of the project while speaking on the OPM On-Air segment of Cliffviews Online on Tuesday. Mahira Stewart has that story.
Launched last July, the Western Water Resilience Project is a $425 million multi-phased improvement initiative aimed at increasing the amount of water supply to Western parishes. Phase 1 of the project, laying pipes across key corridors in Western Jamaica, is already underway. Minister Matthew Samuda says Phase 2 will see upgrades to existing treatment plants that will provide millions of gallons to customers.
The phase that we're in now is $170 million of pipe work. The second phase of that we expect to start and run in parallel with the work that we're doing now very early next year, which is the upgrade of the water treatment plants both at Martha Brae and at Great River. This will see an additional 10 million gallons cumulatively being put into the network to service that corridor with a far more reliable distribution main at the same time. So that will literally supply everyone that lives within 5 kilometers of the coast, from Negril all the way through to the easternmost part of northern Trelawney.
He says the third phase will see new water treatment plants being built to accommodate developments expected to come to the west.
Because we are very clear seeing the housing applications, the applications for more hotels, the applications for industrial projects, we will also, as phase 3, be building water treatment plants at the Rio Bueno River and the Roaring River in Savlomar. These 2 new treatment plants will add close to 40 million gallons of water along that corridor. That is where Dr. Chang's original idea comes into play, because now you have the processing capacity and there is the opportunity to go over the hill, so to speak, and supply areas of Clarendon and Pump East in a way that would give support to St. Catherine Clarendon from that system, while also supplementing needs for the growth that is expected with things like Harmony Cove and the significant housing developments that are projected in the western half of St. Ann going all the way west.
Minister Samuda adds that work is being done to interconnect the water systems in the west in order for certain plants to alleviate areas in the event that their main plant cannot.
We're also doing some serious work over the next 3 months on the Logwood system that will see, because of seismic impacts, that some of the water sources actually shifted a few hundred meters from our initial extraction point that would have been put in 30 years ago. Now that will allow Logwood, in times of plenty, to be able to pump going east as well. So we are interconnecting our systems certainly in the west, and that is the beginning of the process, because Martha Brae now will be able to supply sections of St. Ann. When St. Ann is getting rain, the Bogue system, which is the primary system that serves most of Ocho Rios, will be able to pump much further west as well, because we're designing the pipes in such a way where you're able to switch the flow based on the hydraulics in that space. So that project is a credible one, but an incredibly expensive one, and it will take years to get to that point. But I am happy that we have started in sections.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, the minister says the prohibition notices currently in force would have been issued sooner had it not been for recent investments in the 80-year-old water distribution network. Samuda says in addition to infrastructure works, a reduction in the amount of water lost to leaks and illegal connections have been critical.
We've also done a lot of work with NRW reduction, non-revenue water leak reduction. So we were at 71% in 2016, in February 2016. We're at 38% now in the corporate area. So what that means is that in February 2016, when we formed government, you needed 60 million gallons a day for Kingston and St. Andrew to supply demand. With all of the development, all of the expansion of complexes and multi-family dwellings and new commercial enterprises, today we need 50. So imagine if we hadn't done that leak reduction work, you'd be short 22 million gallons and not 10. So your reduction, your prohibition notices would have come in weeks earlier because of the rate of depletion and the total demand that you'd have had. So there's been significant work. We just have a long way still to go.
And on the subject of improved capacity, Minister Samuda says much work has been done across Kingston and the southern sections of St. Andrew.
You've significantly changed the infrastructure capacity to bring that water. You used to have very old transmission mains. So anybody who's passing 6 Mile would see that massive blue pipe that is coming in. I mean, that was, I think, $3 billion of pipe work that was done just to move the water from Tullow Springs without losing 70% of it. So massive work has been done in Kingston and St. Andrew.
Matthew Samuda, Water Minister. Tullow Springs, located in St. Catherine, is a major source of water for the corporate area. The public is being urged to avoid lighting open fires in light of the dry conditions caused by the ongoing drought. The call is coming from the Agriculture Ministry. It follows a major fire in Peter Plains at St. Elizabeth on Sunday that damaged 12 acres of farmland, including 7 acres of recently planted watermelon. According to the ministry, it's the second major fire reported in Peter Plains and the third in St. Elizabeth in the past 2 weeks. The blaze also damaged irrigation infrastructure, including main lines and drip lines, as well as fencing. Grass mulch used to retain soil moisture was also destroyed. The ministry is raising concern about the growing impact of fires on farmers, agricultural infrastructure, and food production. It's appealing to the public to refrain from lighting fires for land clearing, garbage disposal, or any other purpose during the prevailing dry conditions. It says such fires can spread quickly, placing nearby farms, communities, and agriculture infrastructure at risk. The ministry noted that the effect of these fires extends beyond the acreage directly burnt. Damage to crops, irrigation systems, fencing, and other farm infrastructure can interrupt production and impose significant additional costs on affected farmers. The public is being urged to desist from circulating a viral video depicting child pornography. Senior communications strategist at the Jamaica Constabulary Force, SSP Dennis Brooks, says knowingly accessing, sharing, or keeping such videos is illegal.
At the Jamaica Constabulary Force, especially at the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, SOCA, what we like to communicate is that the Jamaican law doesn't just criminalize the production of child pornography. It criminalizes the distribution, the importing, the exporting, the possession, knowingly accessing. So a person doesn't escape liability just because he or she didn't create the materials. Receiving it, knowingly retaining it, deliberately accessing it, or forwarding it can raise separate legal issues. And you have offenses that range from 8 years, 15 years, 20 years.
The video has attracted disturbing comments from social media users critiquing the child's anatomy and giving graphic descriptions of the footage. All the users have also been asking for the footage to be shared with them. SSP Brooks says such videos are still considered child pornography despite the age of consent being 16.
A common misconception that people sometimes have when they're communicating with us at CCN, for instance, is that Jamaica's age of consent is 16, so sometimes people assume that explicit material of a 16 or a 17-year-old cannot be considered child pornography. That's not correct because the legislation, the relevant threshold is 18 and under. The relevant authorities know, stop sharing it.
SSP Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist at the JCF, speaking on Mrs. Kitty Live on Nationwide 90 FM on Tuesday. Meanwhile, SSP Brooks says the long summer break is an opportunity for students to become engaged in potentially damaging activities.
We are particularly vigilant around the summer holidays when the supervision may be less, and these are realities that we have to consider. That, you know, when kids are not at school under proper supervision, and some parents, because of the realities of their economic or social situation, they're not able to provide the level of supervision the child needs, that these things often happen during the summer holidays.
SSP Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And in international news, about 100 protesters gathered outside the Ukrainian parliament on Wednesday morning, calling for the return of ex-defense minister Mikhailo Fedorov. This following a call by Fedorov for wartime elections. Fedorov, who was unexpectedly fired in July after 6 months in the role, made the call in a video posted to YouTube on Tuesday. The move is regarded as the biggest challenge to Volodymyr Zelensky's presidency since Russia's full-scale invasion 4.5 years ago. Elections have been suspended in Ukraine since the outbreak of the war in 2022 as martial law has been activated. Zelensky is yet to respond to the video from Fedorov, whose dismissal sparked protests across the country. And that's it for the news at 7.
Rise together, strong and free.
The time by Jamaica National is
7:17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho-Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 29 out west in Montego Bay. In Mandeville, 22 degrees Celsius.
Gearing up for back to school? Let's do it with brain power, bounce, and B-Complex. B-Complex give your kids the B vitamin boost they need to stay sharp, focused, and energized all school year long. From the math drills to the recess drills, Beacoplex keep them going strong. Make Beacoplex a part of your back-to-school checklist because healthy kids are happy learners. Beacoplex, fuel their focus, power their day.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Get ready, our end of month super sale is back. From Thursday till month end, get incredible savings on your favorite items. We have decor, kitchenware, school supplies, bed and bath, and of course, the widest range of gift ideas for any occasion. These deals are on till the end of month, so don't wait.
Ascent Super Center, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Tap up online instead. I beg you tap up online instead. Don't bother hold up the lane and waste people time. Beg you tap up online instead. Download the Mighty Tag app and have funds to your T-Tag. Anytime, anywhere, any amount I can spare. Just tap up online instead. If the Mighty Tag app it a hurt up your head, tap up with WhatsApp instead. Send a one text 3553336. Beg you tap up online instead.
Live summer brighter. No need to delay. Sagicor Bank's unsecured loan gives you up to 5 years to repay. New furniture's calling. Go solar at home. Get renovating. Or get a back-to-school loan. Competitive rates. Fast approval. Zero hassle. No sweat. Get it all for the summer. Borrow up to 5 mil. No collateral needed to get whatever you will. Live summer brighter with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan. Call 888-SAGICOR to learn more. Conditions apply.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey to you, Ludlow.
Hey, Tono, morning time.
Morning time.
All right, and it's now bright and sunny. It's brilliant sunshine. And as I speak, I still want to remind the motoring public that as it exits Monroe Road to get onto Olop Road, it's still a single-lane traffic. All right, so please be reminded of that. Single-lane traffic work is going on the lane heading towards the Matilda's Corner area. It's work in progress. Same thing on Retreat Avenue. That's off Olop Road, so single lane. At night, it can be challenging to make sure you look at those barriers because there's nothing to indicate, no red, no flag to indicate danger or anything. So be careful while those barriers are in the road. So reminding you. So in the meantime, that area, once you pass that area, it's a steady flow going down Mountain View Avenue. Looking at Arthur Winters free movement, also free vehicular movement. Going further down towards Deanery, that is also good. And Deanery is really running smoothly all the way down to Upper Edison Road and then going further down to Lower Than Windward Road. The other section of Mountain View going down, you won't have a problem as you connect with past Langston Road, Butts Crescent, and going further down towards Windward Road. The movement is good in both directions. Michael Manley Boulevard also running good all the way to Port Royal Street. But remember, motorists, you have to be careful when you're heading on Sir Florida Glasspool Highway. There are some sharp holes there that could cause you to damage your rim or tire. So just be careful. I tend to go in the extreme left lane because the right lane has some challenges there. And if you're in the opposite direction coming from Harborview, it's really a bumpy ride, especially between the cement factory and going further out. So I'm just reminding you of all of that. But in the meantime, the roundabout is building in Harborview, if you're coming from the Paul Bogle Highway to that roundabout. So it's building all the time. So there you go. Our second report for the morning on the bright and sunny condition. It's back to you, Tono, in the studio.
Thank you so much, Ludlow, for that second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales, They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back. It's Nationwide this morning. We're on the front page and we're looking at this back to school season and the parents and the cost that the parents will have to face in this back to school season. Preparations for the new academic year are now well underway as school administrators work to prepare their physical plans and to create conducive environments for teaching and learning. Many parents are also scrambling to get their children ready for the new school year. But for many families, the financial pressure is mounting as the costs of back to school shopping continues to rise.
Now, while household incomes remain relatively stable, the cost of textbooks, school supplies, uniforms, and those dreaded contribution fees can quickly add up. And for families with multiple children, the expenses multiply. On the front page this morning, we'll be hearing from parents about the cost of getting their children ready for the 2026-2027 academic year and how they're managing the financial demands of back-to-school shopping. We're being joined this morning by a parent of a primary school student and a high school student, Althea Barrett, chairperson of an early childhood institution, and a parent of a high school student and a tertiary student, Amoy Levers, and a parent of a high school student, Nicole Bryan Jacobs.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
So, Althea, let's check for Althea.
I do
All right,
have
so still
Althea.
trying to get Althea. Amoy
Yes, good morning.
and Nicole.
Present, I'm here.
All right, I want to start with you, Amoy Levers, in terms of back to school, the shopping, all of it, and what
Yes.
it entails. What has it been like for you so far?
All right. For me, I prioritize. And when I say prioritize, I do my mapping out at the initial start. So I'll say, all right, what is the need? And we take it from there. All right. It is one child going to high school. I believe it is a little easier on me, and in comparison to probably a parent with 2 or 3 children at the primary or early childhood level. And I say that because I'm involved with other institutions. I am chairman for a basic school, right? I work closely. I am a teacher in the primary setting, and so I am able to relate. So for me, I just prioritize what are the needs.
And give us a breakdown, Amoy, of what the needs are really for your high schooler and what exactly you have prioritized. For example, you'll hear from a parent, they go back and check with the teacher, are all of these books really necessary? Which one do I need to get first? Which one can I wait to get? You'll hear a parent say, well, the child needs 5 sets of uniform, but I'm going to try to get 3 and then see how on the back end I can get 2 more, that sort of a thing. As you say, you prioritize. So give us a breakdown of your child's needs at the high school level and how you're prioritizing.
All right. So for my child, as a boy, he needs it's khaki uniform. He's going into grade 11, so it is white top that he will brandish. All right. So those are priorities because the uniform has to be in place. Uniforms, shoes, bags. Those are a must, right? When we look at the textbook level now, most of his stuff are rental books. However, there are books that they will purchase outside. What I do over the years, my daughter came before him, and I would run and purchase everything, playing the hero mommy, and I'm telling the truth. So I'll do everything, leading up to that. But then I realized, of course, some of the textbooks are materials required. They're not being used. probably not fault of school or, otherwise, but at the high school level expecting students to take the initiative and to read ahead and all of that. So when my son came along, I buy as the need arise. So I would say to him, once the teacher asks for the book, then you come and you tell me, then I'll go purchase them. In order not to spend what I don't need, because I have textbooks that I purchased for my daughter will come in handy eventually because I loan them to other parents in need as we go along. But I use that as a guide, not to run and purchase and then at the end of the day I'm going to cry, oh, they didn't use that book and I could have used the money to do something else.
Well, Althea Barrett is also on. She's the parent of a primary and high school student, but we're going to take a quick break right now and then we're going to come back to hear from Nicole and Althea.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, what we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is...
It's 7:30.
Rev up your driving experience with the fuel-efficient Bike BJ30 SUV. For a limited time, the Bike BJ30 SUV is available for only $6.99 million. The temperature by Bike is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
My health are my responsibility. So I use Jamaica Moves app to keep track of my pressure and sugar levels. I can even keep track of my exercise and my weight so I can know if me I put on too much. With this app, I can have all health information handy for any clinic or doctor I go to. The app all send me tips on how to take care of my health and about healthy foods I should be eating. And trust me, if I can use it, so can you. Download the Jamaica Moves app from the App Store or Google Play Store today. Take charge of your health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Gearing up for back to school? Let's do it with brain power, bounce, and Beacoplex. Beacoplex give your kids the B vitamin boost they need to stay sharp, focused, and energized all school year long. From the math drills to the recess drills, Beacoplex keep them going strong. Make Beacoplex a part of your back to school checklist because healthy kids are happy learners. Beacoplex, fuel their focus, power their day.
From the farmers in the fields, to the bakers who prepare it, to the teams that deliver every day, Juicy is built by Jamaicans. To our partners, thank you for standing with us. Juicy Patties, serious Jamaican food.
Morning after morning, you've made Nationwide 90 FM part of your routine. So let's take this connection one step closer. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club and be part of it officially on Patreon.
Family.
We're back with It's Nationwide this morning. We're talking to parents about the back-to-school season and their preparations for it. We heard from Amoy Levers earlier, and we've had Nicole Bryan Jacobs on and Althea Barrett. I'm going over to you, Nicole. What has it been like in your preparation for the school year ahead?
Okay, good morning again.
Good morning.
I must say my daughter is going into grade 8. So this year, the cost for the books and the supplies are actually less this year compared to last year. Less than 50% because they're actually using back a lot of the books that we bought. So that has been great. The contribution is up by 10% for the school uniforms. I decided I'm only getting 3 because we do have some already. So it has been better this year for me compared to last year based on the fact that we don't have to purchase as many books.
And when you say she's using back books that she didn't use, meaning books from grade 7 are now being...
Not that she, right, not that she didn't use them, but they used the books from grade 7 again in grade 8.
Oh, what? Do you know which subject areas and what sort of books are these? Workbooks, textbooks?
These are the textbooks, like the geography books, the English books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Nicole is saying that the cost this year is actually lower because of teachers transitioning some books from the grade 7 level to the grade 8 in terms of textbooks across geography and English. How about you, Althea? What has been your experience leading up to the start of the new school year in terms of costs?
Good morning.
Good morning, Althea.
First and foremost, back to school for me is not simply about buying books and uniform. It's about preparing our children mentally, emotionally, and academically for another opportunity to succeed. But I do agree with Nicole. My child is going into grade 8, and some of the books she will use in grade 8. The thing about me being prepared as a parent is that every back to school always have a discount. So what I do, as soon as I get my book list, I will source those back to school. And sometimes when you get to the back to school, you will have price up to, they give you like a 5 up to 20% depending on the books that you are purchasing. I have 2 children, one is still in primary school, and some of the books that my daughter left when she was going into grade 6, my son is now using that. So it is, like Nicole said, it is less, more. We spend less this year than last year because we're using some of the books that was initially used. Yes, workbooks cannot be used, so you will need to buy workbooks.
It's interesting that I'm hearing that from both of you, Nicole and Althea, about the book use, where you guys don't seem to be having an issue with that. Because, and I'm raising that because of what the Prime Minister said recently. He said that the government was moving to address concerns surrounding school book lists, following complaints from parents about the number and the cost of books they're being asked to purchase. He said the complaints from parents were legitimate concerns and the government had a responsibility to look at that because parents were contending with expenses associated with that. Parents were saying that they were being asked to purchase several books, and then throughout the school year, the students would really not use the books, and that they were workbooks associated with a particular school term. So once that school term is completed, you can't go on to another school year to use the same book. So why even purchase it in the first place? Going back to you, since Althea and Nicole don't seem to be having that problem, Amoy, is this a situation that you have encountered in relation to your high schooler?
Not so much my son, but of course other parents would have complained. I have heard the complaint and I've seen it for real. You know, it is legitimate, and of course what the Prime Minister shared, it is very much present on the grounds, right? Of course there are books that are required. Probably it has lessened as we go along, and we see that it is coming to the front where we're zeroing on it. And so it has probably minimized, but it is very much present that parents are feeling that burn. They purchase the books, and sometimes probably just a 1 page be done in it. Yes, at the high school level, very much so, because yeah, I believe they expect our high schoolers to take the initiative and read the material and all of that. But that's not what Jamaican parenting looks like. You buy a book, you expect that your child is supposed to use the book. Every page.
Were you agreeing there, Nicole or Althea?
But in terms of last year, at the grade 7 level, the cost was extremely high. So it was burdensome last year. And the truth is, they did not use all of the books, which we did complain about that as parents, especially in terms of like the workbooks. So we have had to lodge a complaint about that. So that is true in terms of you buy a lot of, not a whole lot, but it doesn't matter. If you even 3 of them use as a Jamaican parent, then you want to send them use these books.
But,
right.
And how do you consider the government, since it has now indicated that they plan to address the issue? Is it that schools should be pivoting to a digital form in terms of the workbooks, having them in a digital form, printing perhaps a worksheet or two that the students will need to do? How do you foresee the government addressing this issue?
I would agree with the workbook. Printing the pages, but that's going to mean extra cost on the school. So if they're going to provide that, no problem. But definitely keep with they call whether it's in print or it's a book, because the kids doing it online, sometimes research has shown globally that that's not always as effective as doing it physically with pen and paper. So if the government can provide the resources, good. If they can't, then they try and those they purchase it or they subsidize it for the parents. That's what I would say. So I agree with that initiative by the government.
Okay.
Yes.
Is this Amoy coming in again?
Yes. Well, most definitely, I do agree with my fellow parent here. But at the same time, we too have to look at the reality we face. Probably.
Amoy?
All right, can we try to get Amoy back on the line? Amoy, a chairperson of an early childhood institution and parent of a high schooler and a tertiary student. Amoy, leave us. Let's try to get her back on the line. Nicole and Althea still there?
I'm still here, Nicole. Althea.
Hello, Nicole, Althea?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
And Nicole is here.
Okay, good. Nicole, Brad.
Althea is here.
Yes.
And Althea is here.
Yes,
Yes,
we're
hearing you.
Nicole, you have a high school student. Of course, the demands are very different in terms of the mental state and just preparation to go into another school year. What do you generally do to ensure that there is still that focus after a summer period, probably a time of fun and enjoyment, and then now it's time to really lock in? How do you help to prepare your child in that stead?
Okay. Well, during the summer, just for a little bit, even if it's half an hour for the day, we do a little work. So that's one thing. I know that we're getting closer to school. We're about less than 3 weeks away from the start of school. So now we'll be going for some schoolwork, having less screen time, going to bed at a specific time to just get yourself back prepared. Decide on what it is that you want to do, the extracurricular activities, because that becomes, some children want to do a lot. They cannot do everything, but for this year, we'll look at and assess at what we should like to do for this year.
Okay, similar question to you, Amoy. What do you do to prepare your high school child in terms of, just mental state, getting prepared for school, getting ready to lock in again and keep that focus?
Well, I believe that is very much easy on my part. Regardless if it is school or holiday, my children know that they're always in preparation mode. I don't know why, maybe because mommy is a teacher too. So I have to be preparing. So they're always in the mood. Yes, they're allowed to enjoy the summer and all of that. But it is if they have to call upon them tomorrow morning, my son is ready. He's just enjoying really the congratulations from the CTEC program module that the ministry in relation to the CSEC and rolled out. He did the module one of the mathematics and he got an A. So we had a grand time over it yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
So, yes, thanks. So we're always in preparation mode. But nonetheless still, what I do, I encourage along the way because of course they're going to change grade. So I will reset then. Look at what we did this school year and say, all right, we're going into next year. What are the plans? And once I collect the report card, we sit down and we talk about it. So, all right, if this is a little low, we need to fix this grade going over. So there's always that mind thing going on within the household. And then all three of us are studying because I'm studying myself. My daughter is in college, as I mentioned. And so it's an educational household. So we talk education, do education, and still enjoy what there, is other than that.
A final one from me, ladies, as we close out the conversation. Each of you has a student who's a high schooler, Althea, Amoy, and Nicole. Your high schooler is Amoy, is a senior student?
Yes.
Fifth form, fourth form?
Going fifth form.
Fifth form. Good. A perfect question for you then. The CXC has now announced that they're making some reforms to the school-based assessment framework, SBA. And I'm not sure if you heard of the reforms that they indicated, but they said recently that this was aimed at strengthening integrity across CAPE and CSEC, and that it was in relation to how students were using AI basically to complete their SBAs. And perhaps that the work that they submitted was not a true reflection of their effort. I want to hear from you as a parent who has a fifth former now doing SBAs too. What do you make of these reforms?
Well, personally for me, I welcome the reform. Why? We have to have our future, right, on the right path. And if we allow our children to probably take shortcuts, no. At the end of it all, what will be the benefit? So it cannot be that, of course, I'm going to present something and get a lovely grade, and then I have no clue as to what it entails and what really should be the work behind it. So I appreciate the reform. On the other hand, as parents, we too ought to be in the know of what it is required for our children to move forward. Implore them to study and to work hard. It is hard work that brings the success, not the cutting across or cutting around corners and expecting to get ahead. So I welcome the reform.
Well, good luck to the start of the new school year for all three of you, and congratulations again, Amoy, to your child on doing well in, what is it, Module 1?
Right.
Of the CSEC math exams. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Amoy Levas, their chairperson of an early childhood institution, parent of a high schooler and a tertiary student, and Althea Barrett, parent of a primary school student and a high school student as well, Nicole Brown Jacobs, parent of a high school student. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Have a great morning.
You too. Before we go to the break, there are tons of comments in the chat. I see Brick Road 2087 saying, all those children who can't read, do they still get a book list? And what's in place to address illiteracy? Can't be just about teachers' salaries. I'm seeing here as well, Calvin Daly says, so if teachers are doing these great works, why is it that the results are so dismal? Grace Price says, Grace Price seems to be commenting on another comment in the chat. And I'm also seeing here Brick Road saying, rather Charlene saying, these nowadays parents are not hands-on. It's all about tablets and smartphones, and they're not raising the children. They live on TikTok. SW says, first time I had to buy a lot of books that was never used, and the bags on their back strains them. Thank God when the Prime Minister intervened, teachers were printing their own books to sell, SW is alleging here. And Douglas says, in terms of prioritizing how to purchase items for school, Douglas says, I had 3 children going to high school, 2 at high school, rather going to school, 2 at high school all the time, but I prioritized from the end of the school year and before September. But we figure, Sandre, that's how a lot of parents are doing it. You can't buy everything one time if you don't have the money flushy like that.
Yeah.
So you have to prioritize what you buy. You have to engage with the teachers to find out, listen, which books will the students be using in the first term of the school year? And you buy those ones first. And as well, what can be passed down?
Yeah, I think my mother learned in my first form, that year of high school, my first form year, she learned really quickly that it was counterproductive to try and go out and just get everything. Because we did that, and then I was very astute at the time, so I was very aware of what I needed by about 3 weeks in versus what I didn't need. Because at first, when you go in first form, your bag big, Yeah, walk and you just have this heavy bag going through in school and thing. And when you see that what the teachers actually are doing, a lot of them never get around to using these workbooks. These workbooks, I've had to improvise and figure out ways to use a lot of them myself when I was in high school because the teachers just never got around to using them despite the fact that they were required on the book list. So I eventually said to my mom at the time that, hey, we use these books, we don't use these, I'm not sure if we're using these. If I go to class and I'm realizing that, the teacher actually has an intent, because in your first class you don't really do any learning just yet. It's more of introductions. It depends on the teacher, but it's more of introductions. And when the teacher says, okay, we're going to do XYZ, we're going to use the book to do these exercises, then I can say, hey, you can get the KI for Spanish or whatever it is that they're using, and I realize that's a good approach because I have experienced going to school, buying all the books that unless you're just a bright spark who just love the work and go home with your books, it's not going to benefit you, especially if they don't use it. And for parents that have to spend that extra $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to pick up some of these books in the bookstore, it is counterproductive to them. And that is why I also love the culture that we have in Jamaica. I hope it's as widespread as I think it is, wherein you can text in a group chat and say, listen, school, my son will go to school, and this is the book list. Anybody have any books on this?
That you
and
can pass
they
down?
can pass down. And yeah, because I benefited from that. And similarly, when I had my literature books and stuff, like I've seen messages in groups and I call my mother wherever she's and say, I have this book and I want to give it to somebody because I see that they're asking for it. So that culture works because, man, the book lists, if I can think about my book lists back in the day, some long, they're not even printed on letter size paper. It's legal size.
You're so right.
Legal size paper, Tana. And then when you go around to get in some of the books, I used to go places with my mother a lot, so you'd have to go in this bookstore, that bookstore. When it run out and you walk in and you go here, so you have to go somewhere else. And some of the books you don't even get in time because they hear that they're going to have to restock because they didn't anticipate that so many people are going to be buying that specific book. All of those things, as I said, the Prime Minister did implement a policy to make that a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But it's still burdensome.
Otis says, Tana, when I buy the 7 books, them only use 5. Otis is saying, yeah. So learn the ropes, especially to the moms and dads out there where your kids are entering high school. They're about to be 7th graders. Yeah. Engage with the teachers, the administrators at the school. What do they really need in the first term of school? And as I see a message here, someone said, I've given parents that advice for several years. Buy the books only when needed. Do not take all books to school every day as well. Yeah, now pack up all the books in your bag. Yeah, if you don't need them. Boy, when you see some of the kids, you feel sorry for them.
I was sorry for myself.
Big bag.
My bag was big. As you get more mature in the school system, in the high school system, I can speak to that in particular, you change a lot of things that you're doing because my bags became significantly lighter by the time I was in 3rd form. By the time I was in 4th form, it was very minimal in terms of books because I know, you mapped it out. And there are still some people that have the big bags, but I never do that. Sorry, I know what classes I'm going to need to write for. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And if this teacher actually used the exercise book, he figured out a way around it. But some guys still, I know I had classmates that still bring, if you have 5 class for the day, they might bring all the books related to the 5 class. But I have to, at this time, pause to big up Mr. Dwight Pennycook, the principal of the Wolmer's Boys School. He taught me in first form, Tana, and I tell this funny story on air, and I hope he hears this story. When we started first form, he was our English teacher at the time, and we went in very strict teacher, my friends can say, very mature friends now, but they can say it. We went into the class, and he indicated that we need to have specific books. One of those books that he said we must have in his English class was an English dictionary. So, Tana, we heard him, we really did.
Yes.
But I said, sir, but back big, I'm not going to have any space, because it's those big dictionaries that you'd have to pick up, small English dictionaries, big English dictionaries that you had to pick up for the most part, hard covered, many words, that type of thing. And we went into one class and he said, young men, all of you put your dictionaries on the desk. And when he went around, at about, if it's not 30, about 20 something of us just never had a dictionary.
So that's basically the whole class.
Yeah, so he said class detention. Class detention. Yes, class detention.
Question is, as we go to the break, how many of those 20 plus after that day purchased a dictionary?
You mean brought a dictionary, every single one? We're going for a break. We'll be right back with you.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is...
It's 7:55.
Hawkeye is protecting homes, businesses, and communities with trusted security solutions. The temperature by Hawkeye, securing what matters most, is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The following safety tip is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace. Do not wait until it is too late. Save emergency numbers like 119 and 110 so you are prepared in any urgent situation. Remember, your safety is your responsibility. The preceding safety tip was brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Fresh box shoes bring back the days of full-time fun at Sun and Blazer. Take a long sip, bust a big smile. Play with your friends, chill for a while. The simple thing that make life nice. Fresh box juice when it cool like ice. Enjoy the things you love the best. Treasure the memories, keep them fresh box juice. Yeah. Fresh box juice. Keep your memories fresh, yeah.
Timing, strategy, precision. For over a decade, Sagicor Investments has set the standard for performance. We deliver results that speak for themselves. Number one, in value traded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica's largest unit trust fund manager with diversified investments and unmatched capital markets expertise. Take the first step towards a portfolio built on consistent performance. Call 888 Sagicor to speak with a wealth advisor.
Summer just got cooler, and so did the prices. LG air conditioners are now at lower prices at Active Home Center. 12,000 BTU, 59,997 plus GCT. 18,000 BTU, 85,997 plus GCT. 24,000 BTU, 106,997 plus GCT. And if Bally's your brand, the offer still stands. Buy any Bally air conditioner and get $15,000 to spend on your next purchase store-wide. Conditions apply. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
We're back with It's Nationwide this morning, and for those who did not hear the story, yes, Tana, Mr. Pennycook, after giving us that class detention, I hope he hears this story. Somebody will send it to him. And, after that moment,
good job, Mr. Pennycook.
We did indeed produce our dictionaries. We did
Very
indeed use or dictionaries. And we have had, in my experience, I've had some good teachers and I've had some bad teachers. You know, I take the good and the bad as they come, but I've experienced some really amazing teachers, and I'll always sing their praises, because when you go through the system, it's the same thing I was talking about earlier. I know a lot of people have been saying you can't just blame the education sector and the ministry. I agree, because a lot of the schooling and a lot of the things that comes with it has to do with the home. But in many areas, what we see in Jamaica is that yes, we play this blame game for eternity and then nothing happens. But there are solutions that we can implement at a higher level, at a either policy level, at a, you know, reducing that bloated bureaucracy level that people are afraid of talking about. How much teachers you have sitting in the ministry that may have a duplicated role with somebody else, that you could find some way to get them in working on those remedial programs, helping our students. I think about these things, and these are solutions we really need to get actionable. And I heard the Prime Minister's cry when he was talking to, you know, his boards and his permanent secretaries that Jamaicans just want to see things done. Yeah, that's true. We just want to see things done. Like we are beyond the platitudes, we're beyond the talk shop. Like, yeah, we thought enough. And the Prime Minister is right in that. Enough plan making a turn. Like, yeah, we are, as a matter of fact, I think Jamaica is a premier planning country. We love to plan, we love to meet, but man, when it comes to execution and then evaluating that execution to improve, which we just fall a little bit short there. So you understand? So when you move beyond that, we need to identify. See these good teachers. I think we've lost so much in the way that we could really find these teachers, empower them to train others, because now a lot of young people just going into teaching, and principals are going to tell you, because I know principals that have told me have gone into teaching just because they can't get jobs elsewhere. Yeah, there is that phenomenon now, and so we're having some issues there. And even some other principals that we spoke to on air said a very similar thing about teachers and what's happening and how many people are actually going in to teach, and, you know, do people see it as a career again? Do we see the constant, you know, the constant JTA government thing? Does that help the perception of what the profession is and what people are working towards? There's so many issues. So no, I'm not going to say I envy Dr. Dana Morris Dixon at all, because those issues lie at her feet. But what I will say is that as a nation, we need to coalesce around the solutions and get out of the talk shop. Because if we genuinely want education to be better in Jamaica, we can look at places like Estonia, for example, smaller country than us, but their education system, based on the programs they have, are better. And yes, I know people are going to talk about the home and all those things. I agree. But we can do things at a higher level to solve some of these issues. We can get more penny cooks giving us class detentions so that we can bring our dictionary. And that is the push for betterment education that I want to end our front page on this morning, Tana. We're going for a break. After this, we'll have Across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 2 minutes after 8.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, Wednesday, August 19, 2026, in Kingston and St. Andrew, The Vector Control Unit of the KSA Health Department is using the observance of World Mosquito Day to intensify mosquito control strategies in communities across the corporate area. World Mosquito Day is observed every year on August 20. To mark the observance, the Health Department is staging an expo at Nelson Mandela Park in Halfway Tree on Thursday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The theme of the expo is Taking Action Together, Building Mosquito-Resilient Communities. The Health Department says the event will bring health education and services directly to the public while highlighting the critical role communities play in reducing mosquito breeding. Participants are set to benefit from educational sessions focused on mosquito prevention and control. Also among the services that will be offered are free health checks, including blood pressure, blood sugar, blood cholesterol, and body mass index assessments, as well as HIV testing. In St. Thomas, 4 university students have been awarded scholarships totaling $600,000 through Moyston's life-changing Powerhouse Open Door University Scholarship Fund. The awards were presented at Licensed Church of God in Christ on Sunday. The fund was set up to assist students from the parish who are affiliated with the church overcome some of the financial challenges associated with pursuing tertiary education. In addition to the scholarships, 2 students received tablets from the Universal Service Fund. The devices are expected to enhance their learning experience by supporting online classes, research assignments, and other academic activities. Co-founder of Moyston's life-changing Powerhouse, Kenroy Moyston, says the organization is proud to invest in young people from the parish. Finally, in across Jamaica this Wednesday morning in Clarendon, a 52-year-old businessman has been charged with obtaining money by means of false pretense in relation to the repair of a bus engine. He is Pernell Folks of a New Green address in neighboring Manchester. Reports from the Mapen police are that the complainant handed over $350,000 to Folks for the purpose of repairing a QD32 bus engine. The handover took place on Manchester Avenue, Mapen, on Monday, August 3. Folks reportedly told the complainant he was going to collect the engine from another location but never returned. The complainant reported that he became concerned and contacted Folks, but he did not answer the calls. The matter was reported to the police on Tuesday, August 4. Subsequently, the complainant was conducting business in the downtown area when he spotted Folks and alerted the police. Folks was arrested and charged. A court date for Folks is being finalized. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
Path beneficiaries, the August payment cycle is here and ready for collection. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to September 1, 2026. Be sure to check the Weekend Star on August 21st to find out when you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect on September 2 or 3, 2026. For more information, call Path at 876-922-8000-13 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, the People's Ministry, leaving no one behind.
The following is a message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
One and ready, 2 and drive, lady, Browning, psst, down a town.
Yo, what you do? Come here, lady.
Look at the woman, man. I done call her already.
Watch it from here, sir. I miss you drive with yesterday.
Move from here, sir, man.
Oi. Me not ready. Me not drive with none of uno. Uno fi behave on yourself and live good.
Yeah, man, that's true. Ease off of them waste argument, the man. Brother, we are one, you know.
Yo, me don't want nobody say nothing to me. Left me alone.
Brother, the whole of it there, every single day I try to make little money. All we have to do is cooperate and make we live good. One bus for load at a time.
So my bus there front. And me a load.
So listen what me I say. Doctor, do the right thing and make the man load.
Alright, my G. Kinda makes sense. Me will work with it. A true, a real thing good start talking up. One bus load at a time. And we feel live good. For real.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, but we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Tap up online instead. I beg you tap up online instead. Don't bother hold up the lane and waste people time. Beg you tap up online instead. Download the Mighty Tag app and have funds to your T-Tag. Anytime, anywhere, any amount I can spare. Just tap up online instead. If the Mighty Tag app it a hurt up your head, tap up with WhatsApp instead. Send a one text 3553336. Beg you tap up online instead.
This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Jamaica, your voice can help shape the future of animation. The government invites you to a public consultation on the National Animation Policy Green Paper. Are you an animator, creative, storyteller, student, or passionate about animation? We want to hear from you. Join us in Montego Bay August 20 at S Hotel or Kingston August 24 at Rock Hotel from 4 to 7 p.m. Admission and refreshments are free. Brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it loud. Don't stop now, just be the champion. Work it hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the special. Here comes the master. Here comes the big beat. Big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down.
It's time for Fit Nation. In Fit Nation this morning, focusing on the best workout split. What's the best workout split for building muscles? In this video, fitness expert Jeremy Adair ranks 7 of the most popular workout routines, from the upper-lower split and push-pull legs to the traditional bro split. He breaks down each routine to determine which workouts deliver the best results for muscle growth and which ones may not be worth your time. So, whether you're a beginner looking for the right routine or someone trying to maximize your gains, this breakout or breakdown could help you find the workout split that works best for you.
What are the best and worst workout splits for muscle growth? In this video, I'll be ranking 7 of the most popular routines to find the top performers all the way down to the ones that are wasting your time. And at the end, I'll add a bonus factor, time efficiency, to see which split gets in the most gains in the least time. Now, to make sure your workout routine doesn't end up at the bottom, it has to perform well on what I call the hypertrophy score, a measure of how well it builds muscle. To calculate this score, I teamed up with PhD researcher Eric Trexler. Together, we used the latest research to build a predictive growth equation focused on 2 key factors: frequency, how often each muscle gets trained per week, and volume, the number of sets each muscle is worked with. The best workout split will strike the perfect balance of both. Let's start with the classic, the push-pull leg split, where you train all your pushing muscles the first day, your pulling muscles the next day, and your legs on the third day. But the unique thing about this split is you can run it once, so you're only training 3 days a week, Or you can run through it twice for a total of 6 training days per week. I'll score the 3-day per week version first, which came up to a hypertrophy score of 6.7. And while it does take the top spot on the leaderboard for now, the next split is definitely going to give it a run for its money. It's the 3-day full body workout split. Now, unlike the 3-day push-pull leg split, which hits each muscle just once per week, the full body split trains every muscle 3 times per week. And this gives it a major advantage, because based on a recent meta-analysis by Josh Pelland and colleagues, they found that training a muscle 3 times per week can boost strength gains by about 50% compared to training it just once per week, even with the same weekly volume. So for example, if your bench went from 100 pounds to 150 pounds on the push-pull leg split, switching to full body could push it to 175 pounds in the same time frame. It's why I personally recommend this split for beginners who should focus on mastering and progressing their main exercises before worrying about adding more volume. But how much does this help with muscle growth? Well, while the latest data suggests frequency doesn't seem to be as important for growth, it still helps provide a small boost. And in this case, it's enough of a boost for it to take the top spot with a hypertrophy score of 8.1. Next up, we're moving to a 4-day routine with the classic upper-lower split, where 2 days focus on upper body and 2 on lower body. Now, unlike the full body split, which trains each muscle 3 times per week, here each muscle is hit just twice per week. However, this split does allow for an extra workout day, meaning you can fit in more volume, and that may be a bigger driver of growth. For example, take a look at the graphs from a recent study comparing the effect of frequency and volume on muscle growth. The frequency graph is quite flat, meaning you get just a small boost in growth as you train each muscle more frequently, whereas the volume graph moves up and to the right, suggesting that higher volumes continue to push more growth. Because of this, the upper-lower split scores quite well, with an 8.4, just enough for it to earn the top spot. But now it's time to step things up with 5-day splits, starting with my personal favorite and the routine I'm currently following, the upper-lower push-pull leg split. The beauty about this hybrid routine is that it allows you to fit in more volume than the 4-day upper-lower split, but it doesn't come with the big time commitment of something like a 6-day push-pull leg split. And with a hypertrophy score of 9.0, it takes the top spot on our leaderboard. But will this be enough to beat the rest of our splits? Or will I end up finding something even better than what I've been doing? Let's find out by moving on to the classic 5-day bro split. Unlike any of the splits we've covered so far, the bro split involves dedicating a whole workout to each muscle group. This is what makes it a favorite among bodybuilders like Arnold, who loved working each muscle to exhaustion with tons of volume. However, since you're only training each muscle group once per week, it's probably not the best way to distribute your weekly volume. In fact, one criticism of the bro split is the idea of junk volume. Because you're doing so much volume per workout for just one muscle, by the time you reach your 3rd or 4th exercises in your workout, your performance drops considerably. Some believe that those exercises now become a waste of time and will be better off moved to another workout day when your muscle has recovered. But we definitely need more research to see just how much of a difference this would make. For now, let's see how it scores. Is it enough to beat my personal favorite split? Not quite. It slides into a close second place with a score of 8.8. Next up, we have the 5-day full body workout routine, an ultra high frequency split that trains each muscle 5 times per week. Now, although this sounds like a bad idea, in each workout, you're only doing a few sets per muscle, allowing you to push hard during those sets, yet still recover well even if you're training that same muscle the very next day. But what's really interesting is this style of training may provide additional benefits for growth, especially as you get more advanced. Basically, every time you lift weights, you're signaling your muscle to grow, something known as the muscle protein synthesis response. But here's the thing. In beginners, research has shown this response lasts quite long, about 48 to 72 hours, which means you only really need to train each muscle 2, max 3 times per week in order to keep the protein synthesis response elevated throughout the whole week. In advanced lifters, however, this changes. The protein synthesis response shortens and can last just 12 to 24 hours. Because of this, advanced lifters may benefit from higher frequency splits to keep stimulating muscle growth throughout the week and avoid any downtimes where muscles aren't being signaled to grow. But this is all just theoretical. The real question is, does this really lead to more growth? Well, one study published back in 2019 put this split to the test. Instead of using beginners, they took well-trained lifters, split them into two groups, and had them follow nearly identical workout routines with the same exercises and the same amount of sets and reps. The only difference? One group did the exercises using a 5-day full body workout split, whereas the other group used a 5-day bro split. So what happened? Well, after 8 weeks, almost every muscle they measured grew more with the full body workout split compared to the bro split. And as for its hypertrophy score, after crunching the numbers, it scores an all-time high of 10.0, taking the top spot by a long shot. But it's not over yet. There's still one more split left to cover that just might take the win. And it's every gym bro's favorite routine, the 6-day push-pull leg split. Now, although this routine trains each muscle only twice per week, less than half as often as a previous 5-day full body split, you are able to fit in a ton of volume because of how many days you're in the gym. But is this going to be enough for it to take the #1 spot? Well, after crunching the numbers, comes in at a close second with a score of 9.7. So here's how I rank all the splits purely based on muscle growth. But unless you're someone who would live, eat, and sleep in the gym if it meant more gains, you should also consider time efficiency. And I don't just mean how many days a week you work out. There's other factors you need to consider, like warm-up sets. Full body workouts are usually longer because you have to take time warming up both your upper and lower body. It's one of the reasons why, despite the 5-day full body routine having the highest hypertrophy score, I personally still choose not to use it. So the real question becomes, which split offers the best gains for the least time commitment? And to answer that, Eric and I calculated the weekly time investment you'd spend on each split and compared it to its hypertrophy score. And we found one routine that gives you 85% of the gains of the top split, but with 30% less time in the gym every week. And that split is the 4-day upper-lower split.
Thanks so much there to fitness expert Jeremy Either talking to us this morning in the Fit Nation segment about the best workout split.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:20.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The Temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
30 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 30 out west in Montego Bay. In Mandeville, 25 degrees Celsius.
Back to school season has a way of sneaking up on you. First, it's books, then uniforms, school shoes, a laptop, lunch money, tuition, and somehow the list just keeps getting longer. But here's the good news. Preparing your child for the new school year doesn't have to put your financial goals on hold. With a Barita Merchant Bank back-to-school loan, you can borrow $500,000 and above to finance tuition, books, uniforms, laptops, and other school essentials. You'll also enjoy low rates, reduced fees, and up to 5 years to repay, giving you the flexibility to prepare with confidence. Call 876-618-3455 or email banksales@barita.com or visit baritamerchantbank.com/school loans.
Top up online instead. I beg you top up online instead. Don't bother hold up the lane and waste people time. Beg you top up online instead. Download the Mighty Tag app and have fun to your T-Tag. Anytime, anywhere, any amount I can spare. Just top up online instead. If the Mighty Tag app it a hurt up your head, top up with WhatsApp instead. Send a one text 355-3336. Beg you top up online instead.
Every school is free of unhealthy, ultra-processed products. You know, those high in salt, fats, and sugar. If only that weren't a dream. The reality is that many children have an unhealthy diet at school, and 23% of them are overweight or obese. This can lead to hypertension, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. Let's protect our children's right to health with a policy for schools that prevents unhealthy food marketing and ensures access to nutritious foods. The time is now. Let's implement the National School Nutrition Policy. A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Path beneficiaries, the August payment cycle is here and ready for collection. Post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to September 1, 2026. Be sure to check the Weekend Star on August 21st to find out when you should collect. If you miss your date, you must collect on September 2 or 3, 2026. For more information, call Path at 876-922-8000-13 or visit the ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm. Path, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, the People's Ministry, leaving no one behind.
Healthcare is evolving, and Nationwide 90 FM is bringing you to the heart of the conversation. From August 17 to 23, the Pharmaceutical Society of Jamaica, in partnership with the Caribbean Association of Pharmacists, will host their joint 41st annual conference, happening under the theme Advancing Healthcare Through Innovation, Policy and Practice. Join Nationwide 90 FM on YouTube at NNN Radio Live for special coverage of the conference from the Princess Grand Jamaica Hotel in Negril on Saturday, August 22 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hear from pharmacists, healthcare professionals, and industry leaders as they explore the new ideas, policies, and innovations shaping the future of healthcare in Jamaica and the Caribbean. For more information, visit psjconference.com and tune in live from the Princess Grand Jamaica Hotel, Negril, August 22 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Keep your dials locked to Nationwide 90 FM or join us on YouTube at NNN Radio Live. Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
We're back with It's Nationwide this morning, and of course, we want to hear from our listeners. We've been having this conversation about education. We spoke to some parents, and of course, you heard my warm about, just fixing the education sector overall based on the numbers and what we want to see as marked improvements. But, we can't just have all the conversations here. We want to hear from you. Of course, Tana, give them those numbers.
630-9371-4, 618-6730. So 630-9371-4, 618-6730.
Indeed.
I did see another of our YouTubers pop in the chat earlier, Melissa Williams, saying that her niece, Janine Williams, did CAPE and got all 3 subjects with a distinction. She's over there at Merle Grove.
Wow, congrats.
So Janine Williams, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Over there at Merle Grove, getting 3 distinctions at the CAPE level for the subjects that you did.
Yeah.
And your aunt, Melissa Williams, is saying to big up yourself. She's super proud of you. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, we're all proud of you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a comment from Rani Charles saying, name the industry where the employees are getting better pay than ever and the output is worse or the same, yet they demand pay increase every year and refuse performance-based pay. I don't know about the refusing performance-based pay part of it. I think it's somewhere the government needs to look. That's a angle they need to look at, performance-based pay, and how it is they can effectively implement it while not marginalizing any particular person or grouping of people. And that's going to take some time because they're going to have to do economic figures, financial figures. They're going to have to look at, a number of models to ensure that they get that right, because if they get that wrong, we can have similar concerns as when they did the entire public sector restructuring, and of course some people had concerns, and so we have to be very careful in how we approach it. But it is indeed a good proposal to have performance-based pay. It's something that I've heard many persons talk about, and that they're planning and doing things in order to get it running. But until I see it, I know it's going to take some time for them to get around to fair ways of implementing that, because they're going to have to figure out what is a fair base, what is a fair incentive, how does one sector not benefit more than another, and that type of thing. So yeah, I think it's good. It's good that there are these suggestions coming in the chat. Yeah, but it's even more exciting for our children that have received their results and are excited to see their results. And man, I can think about those days, Tana, when the internet crashed where I was. So it took me a while to get around to the results, but it wasn't bad,
Yeah. I saw a video yesterday of a high schooler who decided to go on camera to open her results, to access her results. And it seems she was either with a relative or a friend. And when the results were loading, so she stepped away from the device. And then her friend started screaming like, "Oh my God, come look, come look." And when she came and she looked, 8 ones. Yeah.
Nice.
8 ones. 8 ones. And I said, wow, that's fantastic news. Of course, she was jumping up and down. Quite happy there. And we were talking yesterday as well about the Guyanese students. The Guyanese students who do CSEC and CAPE. And I saw yesterday President Dr. Irfan Ali, he did post a slide on Instagram of the top students. And the top student in Ghana, he sat 27 subjects, I believe. And he got 21s, 6 2s, and a 3. And the top girl, I think she did 26 subjects, and I think she got 21s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it that they did all the subjects that CXC could possibly have?
No, that's not all. I'm sure
that's a lot.
All. Yeah, it is a lot. Cleveland is on with us though, but
26 ones and a 2 for the girl.
Yeah, that's good. As a matter of fact, I think we need more of that in Jamaica. I won't tell you how much subjects I have. Cleveland.
No,
yes.
Say.
Morning.
Cleveland.
Morning. I'm trying to understand something. Yesterday, the former president of the Teachers Association at least me, the impression that they come to some sort of agreement with the government, rage. And by the time this other lady taking over now, she said they're not accepting it. Do I have it wrong?
What the former president said was that the offer that was placed on the table was an improvement on the previous proposal. As to whether he was optimistic or believed that the delegates and people were going to approve what was placed on the table, no, that impression wasn't given. What was also said is that by today we would know whether or not they have accepted the new offer. But the new president has indicated the members have not.
Yes, I wonder about that. I don't know. But Lord, this lady going to come back and give the government problem. Come on.
I won't phrase it like that, Cleveland.
This will start off on a better note.
Cleveland, I won't phrase it like that.
How would you phrase it, sir?
The reality is the position of president of the JT has always been a position over the years that there is that back and forth in wages and government and so saying that it's problem, I won't call it problem. People would call it advocacy in many cases.
Advocacy.
Yeah. So I won't say she's giving the government problems, because that is really their role, to advocate for the teachers that are part of the association.
Yeah, but my problem is that, man, to just start start on a different note, and then you get.
Well, she don't
All
really,
right?
she not really just start in a Cleveland. Remember, I not come. She just a come a return. She return.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she
Boy,
picking up.
double.
She pick up what she leave off.
All right. Anyhow, take care, sir. Take care.
All right, Cleveland.
All right, Cleveland. Who do we have? Oh, we're going for a break. We'll be right back with you.
Rebuild with standards, rebuild with confidence. Test your blocks, concrete, cement, aggregates, and other building materials at the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. The BSJ, building a nation, test by test. The time by the BSJ is...
It's 33 minutes after 8.
Feel the rhythm of nature at the world-famous Duns River Falls and Park, one of Jamaica's most iconic experiences. The temperature by the Urban Development Corporation is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston and St. Andrew, 30 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 25 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Enough power tool, big to small. Jackama figure dig the wall. Up a total tools. Weed whacker figure trim the lawn. We have everything a job demand. Total tools. We rent them, sell them and fix them. Also give Total Tools a call. When you say home improvement, landscape construction, a Total Tools are your option. Home improvement, landscape construction, Total Tools are your option.
Total Tools, located at 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, 34 Slive Road, Kingston.
And lot C6 Jacksaw, Sentence Bay. Call us today.
Hate long wait times at the pharmacy? Me too! Well, I found Marshall's Pharmacy, located at Pathfinder Plaza, Greater Portmore. Great customer service, shorter wait times, all the local and international brands I want, plus print services powered by Print Corner. WhatsApp your prescriptions to 876-491-7841 and follow them on Instagram at Marshall's Pharmacy. Visit Marshall's Pharmacy in Greater Portmore today. They're open late every day, even on public holidays.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. The number is 630-937-124 and 618-6730. You know, as conversations, Sandra, continue to be had about beach access, I've been seeing the tourism ministry using its social media, its Instagram, to post a number of flyers about the number of beaches in Jamaica considered public beaches available to Jamaicans. I'm seeing one here that was posted 7 days ago that said that there are 70 recognized public beaches, 10 public recreational beaches with an entry fee, and 60 without an entry fee. And then they had another that said how much of Jamaica's sandy beach coastline is public beach. And then it said, according to the National Environment and Planning Agency, Jamaica has approximately 300 kilometers of sandy beach coastline. 74.7% of Jamaica's sandy beach coastlines is recognized as public beach front page. What I'd ask of the tourism ministry to do, since it's doing this and getting a lot of engagement on it as well, I know that on if you go to NEPA's website, Sandra, that you can find a list of all of the beaches across the country. But to make it easier for Jamaicans who, in the comment section as well, asking for the list, just give us the list. And they're doing up these flyers very nicely. For example, they have one that says St. Elizabeth has 9 public beaches, Portland has 9, St. James has 8, and St. Anne has 8 as well. So I'm guessing there will be other flyers that says how many are in the other parishes. But since you're doing this, why not just list them as well?
Yeah.
So just like how you list that St. Elizabeth has 9, what are the 9? St. Anne has 8, what are the 8? Just tell the people. Make it easier for Jamaicans since you're engaging them in social media, Instagram, where a lot of people go to consume information daily. Just put it there as well. And that will help as well to, tone down some of the narrative being spread out there about beach access. Michelle is on the line. Good
Michelle,
morning.
good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good.
You?
I just wanted to make a comment. It's a passion for me.
Mhm.
And it's a comment you made about the 20-odd subjects that some students in Guyana have received. But I want to caution, so I'm a mother with 2 successful children and several successful children from other mothers, as I like to call them. And when you compare, they have 8, 9, 10, 7 subjects, and the scholarships that they are afforded internationally. The Guyanese students are not necessarily getting those scholarships because they're not as well-rounded. I feel passionate about pushing too much on the 20-odd subjects because doing biology, social biology, environmental biology, or all the various biologies that CSEC offers is not better than doing just biology. There's no advantage. But it's important when your children are doing these many subjects, it doesn't allow them the opportunity to do the football, to do the cricket, to do the track and field, to do the swimming, to do the tennis, to do the golf, to do the skeet shooting, to do all these other things that make them more rounded, to be a part of the environmental club. All those things are important. And when you spend so much time over academics, you miss the rounded life. So I think that's my passion. That's what I wanted to mention. So we need to be cautious about pushing that.
I hear you, Michelle, but I dare say that Jamaica doesn't produce as much rounded students as we think we really do, because eventually people peter out at a certain time because the activities you have after school, well, in my experience at least, not a lot of people engage in them or are fostered properly, especially in schools that will say they're under-resourced. They don't really have that much activities. As you say, it sounds good, but I know specific schools that literally they don't have those activities, those clubs, some of those sports. They never experience them. So we still have a lot of schools that the only focus on them is academia.
Well, I know that there's some schools that focus a lot on academia, and the students might not be as proficient at sports as a KC, for example, or a Woolworths. But they do have the exposure, right, at these very academic schools. They do have the exposure. Do they push it? No. But they're still getting they're not going on a sports scholarship. So there's 2 points I want to make. The first, addressing exactly what you said a while ago. So you might not be getting a sports scholarship, but they're not looking for students who are getting forget about sports scholarship. To get an academic scholarship, you need to be rounded, right? And looking at other things you do, because you have 100 people coming, or you have applying to Harvard. Everybody applying to Harvard, or 80% of the people applying to Harvard have a high high SAT score, X amount of CSEC subjects. So what makes you different? It's not necessarily that you went to champs or that you represented Jamaica in something, but it's that you consistently participated in other things. You remember social clubs. You participated, even if you represented your school in a sport, right? Or you consistently represented your club in a sport. They're looking for those things. And then that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, so we have a challenge in Jamaica, I agree. So let's focus on at least getting them the 7 subjects and improving the sports facilities and the clubs at the schools. And like I said, I don't want us to focus on the 20 subjects. That's my thing. Yes, it's great that the person has got 20 subjects, but they've gotten 20 subjects and no advantage further after school because they've gotten 20 subjects. So let's focus on the 7. Like you said, get the academics up right. So at least they have 7 subjects, math and English included, right? And then see how we boost the sports program, the clubs at the school, the key club, those other things, whatever passion they have. That's another thing. If you're passionate about if you're something you're passionate about. So you're passionate about tree planting. So you start a tree planting club and you talk about all the trees that you plant across Jamaica and what's done for the environment. That makes a big difference on your resume versus, so if I have 8 1s or 7 1s and I've done these projects, versus you have 26 subjects and nothing else behind it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
thank you
for those. Thank you for those comments, Michelle.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too, Michelle.
Okay. Bye.
Ben, good morning.
Good morning. I agree with this because I've been training subjects and there's barriers to the time. Some parents do not push sports with their children. They live on sports, like some people put auto mechanic, woodwork, electrician, other things, other subjects. Right? That's what we're talking about now, getting people to fill positions in the technical areas in Jamaica because no, they don't grade those things and they're seeing it, they're reaping what we sow. No, I heard you talking earlier about something, I don't know what it was. But what I just say, the person in control in our tires, both in the private and public sector, it seems like the PhD mean putting the old act in the dick. I will not explain that to you on the area. But that's what the PhD for most people mean. Right? They can look up to the university and get their name and it's done. And then they become a politician or a lawyer or a doctor. And then they practice them, they become Alibaba and the change and the TCTs. Right? They don't see the country going forward. And when you try to push the country forward, you get pushed back from 28 so-called organizations, which is not politically motivated, but if you look deep, they're politically motivated down to them belly. I want to get it. Oh, the garbage collection. We have a micro dump at the kind of Regent Street and Chestnut Lane, Bond Street and Pink Lane, and you have a coconut east along Darling Street and the left hand side. We're not clean all now.
Could you say the third area, Ben?
Yeah, because this is all West Kingston, right?
Yeah, Darling Street, the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's down to the market, the back end of the prison canyon gully.
Yeah.
I don't forget about that. Maybe you don't know because in the uptown and in downtown, the prison canyon gully, the market, they get the cheap and buy and the certain cheap because it's gully.
Ben, you shouldn't assume. I could tell you easily that you're talking about West Kingston, but go ahead.
Oh, right, well, I like going to the place. Look like a travel man. Oh my goodness, congratulations. And I like to young people. I'm happy for you young people that sacrifice brought in the front because you all, it's like they are a liar there. Let me hear some things with you. Let me hear some people want to think that really got out of school like him. I want different higher school in there. He did well. Congratulations to you all and God bless and keep all right.
Thank you so much, Ben. Of course, you heard about the garbage collection issue. I hope the relevant authorities, NSWMA, etc., heard about that in West Kingston. Yeah, in West Kingston in particular, there are at least 3 areas that Ben has just noted. Of course, Ton, I have a different view of the subjects in particular because you can do 26 subjects and still have time for co-curricular activities.
Yeah.
Because a number of subjects, as she said, some of them overlap. And before King breaks me, a number of them overlap, and they can balance it and get it done. It's not impossible. I am pretty sure they have a method to their madness. And the reason I say that is because if you scroll across on President Irfan's page, you'd see that a number of them are like getting 8 subjects, 9 subjects too, but there are these extraordinary ones. For whatever reason, they've chosen that. I have HSB and I have biology, so boo-hoo. I could go on. I have a list of subjects. Some of them I even taught myself. But the reality is, I was also involved. So I don't want to tell you the number, Tona, because the number is just as
You can tell
scary
me
as
off
it
air.
is. Well, I was involved in a lot of sports and extracurricular activities, and
Yeah.
still I have 19. So at the end of the day, I think it's
The
possible.
high school space should be holistic. So if the kids can balance both, can do the 26, 27, 28 subjects and still manage to do several extracurricular activities that is important to their development.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Go
it's
ahead.
and it's yeah, and they're
You don't
different.
feel like you're
they're
under
different from
pressure?
us. So hey,
You know, feel like you're under pressure and you're still having time to engage with your friends and do a little partying. That's important to development too. Yeah, man, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:48.
Je t'aime quand c'est là.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Would you believe me if I told you? Will you believe me when I say affairs of the heart, together we've grown, if ever apart. All I want you to know is your love is life changing, and I couldn't be the same without you, darling. Your love is life saving. You always catch me when I fall. When the tour bus drop off and all light lock off, and I'm a mere mortal again. Promoter belly full and all the fans gone home. I'm glad that you're more than a friend. When your love is life changing, and I couldn't be the same without you, darling. Your love is life saving. You always catch me when I fall. There's people just like you and me, we pass them in the traffic that never fall in love, and some me have it, said me lucky. Enough of them not fortunate enough to have somebody. Some just cannot see beyond the flesh, and it's so funny. Never get too caught up in yourself to feel the magic. True love come and pass you by in life, but it's so tragic. Opportunity is good, so take it while you have it. Don't wait till you are panic. Well, the last man you there would make a big mistake. Left and gone for good and miss out something we're great. Loyal and full of it when enough of them a move fake. Our things separate, we can't separate, cause I would miss you, baby, and I can't do without you, darling. Yes, and I would miss you, baby. Girl, you know I love you bad. There's something called. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop.
For all celebrating birthdays today, when you hear these songs, happy birthday to Unique Event. Kamika McRae, it's your birthday. Kamika, happy birthday to you. Mia Fulton, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Shane Williams, a very special happy birthday going out to you. Monique Thomas, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hisani Chisholm, happy birthday to you while King pulls this song up. Stacy and Brissette, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Sherelle Robinson, happy birthday to you. Carleen Levy, happy birthday to you. Candice Janessa, happy birthday to you. And Kemisha Campbell, a very special happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday greetings. This one says going out to the Member of Parliament for South Trelawney, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, saying, have a great day, Mama D. You are the best MP in Jamaica. We love you. Stay healthy. The greetings are coming from the South Trelawney or Southern Trelawney family. So happy birthday to you. And then on the flip, happy birthday greetings to Janet. And those greetings are coming from MP Mama D. So Janet, it's your birthday today, and your Member of Parliament is sending you happy birthday greetings.
Happy birthday greetings to cousin Marva Knight George in Canada, wishing for her many more blessed birthdays. Love you loads, cuz, from your entire family, and that one is going from Arlene Rowe.
Happy birthday greetings. Nadine Henry sending happy birthday greetings. Nadine says, hold up, good morning, just taking the time out to wish myself a happy birthday today. I pray God will continue to bless me in all my endeavors and have a God-filled day, baby girl. Hey, Nadine has sent up much greetings for herself, you know. But Lady Nadine Henry, it's your birthday today, your special day. A happy birthday to you, and we here at NTM wishing for you a fabulous day. Rosie Watt sending belated happy birthday greetings to Tiffania Vassal Hamilton. Her birthday was yesterday. Good morning to you, Tiffania. Your birthday was yesterday. Belated happy birthday greetings to you. Rosie Watt saying, I hope you had a good one.
Congratulations to Jared Mayer on being successful in 8 subjects in his CXC examination, 7 1s and a 2. Coming from your mom, Carleen, Aunt Ellerine, and the rest of the family. Jared, congratulations on getting those subjects and doing well. We wish for you a very, very successful future, Jared.
Indeed. Donna Johnson sending happy birthday greetings to her sister, Juliet Johnson. Hey to you, Juliet. Happy birthday to you. And it's coming from your sister, Donna Johnson.
Right here we have our listing from the birthday president himself, DSP Mikoyan Brown at the Commissioner's Office. A very special happy birthday to you. Corporal Melva Tomlinson over in Mobay, happy birthday to you. Judge Broderick Smith in St. Elizabeth, a very special happy birthday to you. Mr. Ethan Edwards in Trelawney, happy birthday to you. Mrs. Arlene Morris Dawes, the CEO of Morris Hardware in Sav, very special happy birthday to you. Mr. Alan Lowen in Mobay, a very special happy birthday to you. All these greetings coming from the president of our birthday club himself, Sergeant Wayne Wallace. Of course, he's sending birthday greetings, and we're sending birthday greetings here for you from the Nationwide This Morning team.
A final one here, Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith sending belated birthday greetings to Dr. Henry Lewis from the Wesleyan Holiness Church family at 16 Manningsville Road. May God richly bless, guide, and keep you always. So belated happy birthday greetings to you, Dr. Henry Lewis. Those are all the birthdays. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary as well.
Every time you take one step, something pulls you back, but you get back up each time you fall.
Boy, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time to hear all the music. You have to give me another one, Mr. King, before I rap. But big up our super editor Kevin Thompson, of course, our super duper producer Michelle McCrae Smith, the musical maestro, technical coordinator Mr. Jermaine King, who is there behind the board playing all this beautiful music. That's all the time we have for the show. I am Sondre Roden.
I'm Tana Thomas.
Good morning.
Don't fear, everything is gonna be alright. Some days are up and some you're down. Week today, tomorrow's gone. Some you lose and some you
You just heard Nationwide This Morning on Nationwide 90FM.
The life we live. The life we live.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Need reliable medical equipment at home? Visit